Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tosin. On the channel today we'll be learning how to draft a princess cut. Yes, we have two types of princess cuts. Basically, we have the shoulder princess cut and we have the armhole princess cut. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to draft an armhole princess cut, which I believe is the most common type of the princess cut we have. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into the video. But please pause, guys. Please kindly subscribe to my channel. Please, if you are getting value from this channel or you are getting value from the videos you're watching, please kindly subscribe. Please just take a minute and go to that subscribe button and subscribe. I'm just trying to groom this channel. I'm trying to groom this channel so I can get to 100 subscribers. Please kindly subscribe. Please push me to 100 subscribers, guys. Please, it will really go a long way for me. Thank you. So for this tutorial, I've already gone ahead to draft my basic blouse. This is my basic bodice block, which I have the video on my channel. I will leave it linked in the description box so you can go and check it out before you watch this video. That is if you don't know how to draft your basic blouse or basic bodice. But I have an explanatory video on my channel on how to draft a basic bodice. So this is my front block, as you can see, and I'll be going ahead to draft my armhole princess cut. So guys, I've been filming this video. I didn't know the audio was bad, so let me just start up from the beginning. So the first thing I'll be doing is I'll be going to the midpoint of my armhole. This is the midpoint of my armhole, and I'll be dropping 1.5 inches below the midpoint of my armhole. So dropping 1.5 inches below the midpoint of my armhole, I'll connect from this 1.5 inches to my bust point, the dart line on my bust point. This is my dart line and this is my bust point. So I'll be connecting from this 1.5 inches below to this point this way with using my ruler. So I connected from this 1.5 inches below. This is the half point of my armhole, and this is 1.5 inches below it, and I connected from here to that line on my bust point. So that is the first step. Then the next step I'll be doing is I'll extend this line. I'll extend it out. Now I'll measure 1 inch on the extension, like this extension. I'll just measure 1 inch on it. I just need to go out 1 inch above it, above this my armhole line. So this is my 1 inch on the extension. Let me move it closer so you can see it. So this is my 1 inch on this my extended line. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll go to my bust point. This is my bust line. So this is my measurement using my basic bodies. So on this my measured point, I'll add 1 inch to it, and I'll go to my armpit also. This is my armpit, and I'll add 1 inch as well. So let me just explain again. On my bust line, I hope you can see this. On my bust line, this is my measured my measurement. This is 9.5 inches. So I added 1 inch to it, and I also went ahead to my armpit and added 1 inch to it, to the measurement. I just hope you can see that. So that's the step 2. So the next step I'll be doing is going to my under bust. And guys, I would like to point out that this is the most things I'll be doing is tightening, and I'm doing mostly on my under bust and my waist. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be stopping on my waist. I'll be making it like an half cut. So the next thing I'll be doing is on my under bust, I'll measure 1 inch to the left. I hope you can see me clearly. So this is my under bust. I'll measure 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right on my dart line. This is my under bust point. You can see I labeled it. I'll go to that my dart line, take 1 inch to the left this way, 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right this way. I just hope you can get this. So this is just like 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right. So that is what I did on my under bust. Then I'll go to my bust. I'll drop 1 inch below. This is my bust line. Or still on the dart line, I'll go 1 inch below. I just hope you can get me. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll go to my waist. I'll go to my waist and I'll measure 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right on my waist. I went 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right on my waist. I just hope you can see me. You can ignore every other point and just follow what I'm trying to do. So let me just repeat this as well. On my waistline, I go to the dart line on my waistline and I measured 1 inch to the left, 2 inches to the right. This is 2 inches to the right, guys. Now I'll be connecting. I'll connect from this, my under bust, 1 inch to the left. I'll connect to this point. You know, I dropped 1 inch below the bust, so I'll connect it this way. Then I'll connect same way to the 2 inches to the right. Then I'll go to my waist and do the same connection, but this time I'll connect from my left. This point on the waist, I'll connect to the under bust this way. Then I'll go to my right and do the same connection this way. So I hope you get it to this point. You can just, you know, rewind this video just to, you know, get it properly, but it is very, very simple. If you just rewind it, you understand what I'm saying. So the next thing I'll be doing is, I can't leave this way because it will come out sharp. Once I sew it, it will make the bust look so funny. So I'll be using my curve, this curve. I'll be using it to get a curve this way. I'll just be placing my curve this way just to get it in a curvy manner, so it doesn't just come out straight and sharp like that. I'll just be getting my curve from this. I just hope you can see this. Let me try to remove my hand so you can just see what I'm doing. These points, they are to be cut out, so I'll be shading them. Next thing I'll be doing is getting a new armhole, because, you know, I extended, just for ease, I extended 1 inch above this line. Like, I measured 1 inch above this line. So I'm going to connect to get another armhole. I'm going to connect to this 1 inch that I added to my armpit this way. I just hope you can see this. Let me move it close a bit. Okay, so I'm going to connect to this. You know, I added 1 inch to my armhole, so this 1 inch extension here, I'm going to connect it to this 1 inch here to get another armhole for ease. So I'll be going ahead to add my removed measurements, like all these things I removed from this point. I'll be going ahead to add them back. On my under bust, I took away 3 inches. On this, my measured point, I'm going to add the 3 inches back. Now I'll go to my waist as well. I took away 3 inches from here. I'm going to add, on this waist point, I'm going to add 3 inches as well. I just hope you can see this. So I've gone ahead to add that. I told you I'll be stopping on the waist because most of the tightening we are going to be doing is on the under bust and the waist. So I won't be going further into the half length and the length of the blouse. I'm just going to make this an half cut length. So I've gone ahead to add my measurement. Now I'll be connecting from the armpit to the under bust, then to the waist. So I'm going to, let me repeat myself, I'm going to connect from this armpit to the under bust, then to the waist this way. armpit to the under bust, then to the waist. I'll be getting my side dart by measuring my armpit to my waist. So in this case, my armpit to my waist is 7 inches. I'll divide that by 2, which gives me 3.5 inches. I just hope you can see this. I divided 7 inches by 2, so this gives me 3.5 inches. So it's on that point. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to get my side dart from this midpoint. So I'll be going on this midpoint. I'll go, let me move close a bit. I just hope you can see this. Let me just move close a bit so you can just focus on that. So on this my half, this 3.5 inches, I'll be going ½ inch in and ½ inch out. I hope you can just understand, just like you're doing a normal dart. So I went ½ inch in, ½ inch out. So this is my initial half point. I'll connect from this initial half point to the bust. I hope you can see me. So I'll connect from this midpoint to the bust first. Then, just like we do to get the dart, I'll be getting my dart like this. On my ½ inch out, I'll connect to get a dart this way. And on my ½ inch in, I'll also connect just to get my side dart. So this is my side dart. I'll be folding this along the line. I'll be showing us how to fold. So because I've removed 1 inch from this point, I have to add it back. So just like I said, I'll be concentrating on just from my shoulder to waist. So on the waist, let's just assume this is where this gets to. For the sake of my tutorial, I'm using my shoulder to my waist. So because I want to add this 1 inch back, so it doesn't make my measurement shorter, I have to return this 1 inch I added. This 1 inch I'm going to remove. I'm going to remove this 1 inch dart. So I'll just add my 1 inch back, just this way. Let me just shift this so you can see this clearly. I'm measuring my 1 inch from my waist. I measured my 1 inch back, so it doesn't end up getting shorter than the initial measurement I took. Taking this measurement here, which happens to be 10.25, I'll be returning it to this point. So I'll connect this way. Whatever neckline you desire, you can do with this. If you want it as an off shoulder, you can go ahead to do your off shoulder also. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be making do with my standard neckline. So I'll be using my paper tape to fold this in, this side dart. You can just look at what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fold this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to fold this first dart leg. I'm going to fold it to meet the other one here. First dart leg. This is my first dart leg. I'm going to fold it in to meet the other dart leg. You can see this is my first dart leg. I folded it to meet the second dart leg. Don't worry about the shape it's bringing or anyhow it's coming. That is the proper way. You are going to adjust that along the line. And I'm going to tape them down using my paper tape. So I've gone ahead to tape that down. I'll be connecting still straight to my armpit. So at the end of the day, this is the shape you're cutting out. This is how we are going to cut this out. I'll be going ahead to cut this out. You can just try to look at how I'm going to cut this. Doesn't confuse anybody. So just to know that all these are going out. This is one part of your armhole princess cut. I'll keep this aside. Second part. So this is how it will look. So this is it. By the time you start holding them, you'll see that everything falls in place. So this is how the front block of your armhole princess cut will come out. Now for my back block, the first thing I'll be doing is I'll go to the midpoint of my armhole. This is the midpoint of my armhole for my back block. And using my curve, using this curve, I'll be connecting straight from this my armhole, just the way I place this curve. I'll connect to my waist that way. This way, curved like this, I'll connect. I connected this using my curve just this way from the midpoint of my armhole to my waist. Now the next thing I'll be doing is on this curve, still the same way I place this curve, I'll extend out. And I'll measure 1 inch on that extension. So this is 1 inch on that extension. So the next thing I'll be doing is to get a new armhole, and I'll connect from this 1 inch added to my armhole here. So I've gotten, this is another armhole that I got. Didn't connect this well. So this is another armhole that I've gotten. So the next thing I'll be doing is on my waist, on the dart line on my waist. This is the dart line. So on the dart line on my waist, I'll be taking my normal dart, which is 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch out. Now using this same curve, just the same way I placed it, I'll connect from this point to my bust point. Still the same way for the other dart leg. I'll connect. So the next thing I'll be doing for the back block, I don't have much to do for the back block, is to return my removed measurement. I have to return back the measurement. So I'm going to take this point, I'll measure this removed this part that is going out, I'll measure it, which is 1 inch, and add back to the waist. I hope you can see this, just like I'm returning my dart. I just hope you can see this. Yes. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll go to this underbust because there's some parts going out on this underbust as well, so it doesn't come out too tight. I will measure it, which is almost 1 inch, but this is 0.75. This is like 0.75, so I'll be taking that 0.75, I'll be adding it back to the underbust. This is the underbust, so I've added back my 0.75 to the underbust, and I'll be connecting from my armpit to my waist. You can see the way it is. I'll just connect to my waist basically. So I just connected from my armpit to my waist. Then I will be removing zip budge from this particular tutorial. I have a detailed tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice. You can just check that. I'll be removing the zip budge off camera because I have that on my basic bodice tutorial, so you can just check that out to see how I'm going to remove zip budge from my waist. So I've gone ahead to remove zip budge from my back point just to avoid zip budge. So the next thing I'll be doing, I want to just alter my back measurement a bit. I want to make it a V-neck. So let me just say I want my neck depth to be 9 inches, or let's just say 7 inches depth, just to get a V-neck. So I'll just be measuring my 7 inches. So you can see I didn't touch the neck width because neck width has to be same. It has to be equal with the front block, so I can't touch the neck width. Now the next thing I'll be doing is cutting this out to show us. So this is one part of my back block for my armhole princess cut. This is one part of the back block, and I'll be going ahead to separate the other one. And this is the other part. So this is how it looks. If you want me to do a detailed video on how to cut this on the fabric and sew, you can just leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to do that. But before I go again, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Like this video, please. Liking it goes a long way as well. Once you give this video a thumbs up, it helps another person see this video, another person that needs this kind of video. It helps them find it easily. So give this video a thumbs up. Also share to your family and friends, your loved ones, people that you know need this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.